Gang, it's your boy Nature, aka Nature Gang. All right, gang. So as we go over what happened, we see February 28th, 2022. We see price was in an uptrend all the way up to take profit 13, 1950, and then we see what price head back down to 1930, take profit 12 before what making a lower low, making structure before what price made a lower high back up to 1947. And then made a lower low back down to 27 stitch in 1915 from 1947, and you could have entered in 1944 and rode this all the way down to 27 extension, right? So breaking this trend line, it also broke this trend line. Once price breaks this trend line, we can enter for trades. We're looking for sales. The price is what making structure. If we move Fibonacci real fast, where it's in the uptrend, see this even star pattern. See the price got to take profit 13, and it doesn't. It starts to wick at take profit 13. When we see wicks above, it lets us know that price wants to head back down. And we see a wick above at 1950, March 1st, and then it wicks and then it heads all the way back down to 1931. Then what? It makes a lower high. It just won't keep going lower and lower. It goes, it makes a lower low all the way down to basically take profit 12, 1930, and then makes a lower high back up to take profit 13 before, making a lower low back up to 1915. Like it won't just, make a lower low and keep making lower lows. No, it will make a lower high, making what structure at 1947 before making a lower low at 1915. It does exactly that, breaking this trend line. And we could have entered at 1943 once price, wicks. We could see wicks one time, two, three, four times. It wicks at take profit 13. This lets us know that price does not want to break above take profit 13. And it breaks this trend line. And we could have entered when price breaks this trend line and it starts to wick above. Once you see price wick above, you can get in for an entry. And roll this all the way down to 1915. Take profit 11. Then price heads back up. We see wicks above. We see a wicks above is going down. When you see wicks above one time, two times, three, four times at take profit 13, this lets us know that price doesn't want to break above take profit 13, and it goes all the way down to take profit 11. Goes past take profit 12 and goes to take profit 11. Then once it gets to take profit 11, it heads back up. It starts to wick back up. We see wicks below. This lets us know that price is wicking back up. We see wicks below at take profit 11, 1915, and it goes all the way back up to 1935 before what wicking back down. Eventually back down to 1915. If you miss this move, just wait for price to make a lower high. It made a lower high at 10 o'clock. Around 9:30, 10 o'clock is London, New York session. And price is moving very fast around this time, is fluctuating, and then wait for price to make a lower high, just like you waited. If you miss this move right here from 1950 all the way down to 1930, take profit 12, basically wait for price to make a lower high, back up to 1947, and you could have rolled this all the way down to 1915. And once price started wicking above, and you missed this move and wicking below, when you miss this move, wait for price to make a lower high back up here to 1935. Just like it made a lower high up here, it will make a lower high up here. The prices won't keep making lower lows. And then once price got to 1935, what did it do? Hit right back down 1915, our psychological level, take profit 11. And boom, we're out this trade, Then we see a wicks below. When you see wicks below, this lets us know price is heading back up. It goes back up to 1933. And it then heads back down to 1928. And we see wicks right here on the 4 hour. On the 4 hours starting 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock, we see wicks here. And this lets us know that price doesn't want to break above take profit 12 right away, and it heads back down to take profit. It heads back down to 1922. If you are Fibonacci, it heads right back down to zero. Goes right back down to zero, right? Once price gets down here, making what a lower low. It was still in this downtrend, made another lower high, back up to 1933, and try to push above on the 4 hour. On a higher time frame, it try to push above to take profit 12, and then it started wicking what one time, two, three, four times, you know, five times, and then hit it back down. Every time it wicks above, we'll head back down. It wicked above one more time at 1930, and then it breaking this trend line, and then heads back down to zero, boom, right to 1922. Once price hits 1922 from 1930 to 1922, could have made a couple hundred, you know. Once price, you know, a couple thousand. Once price heads back down to zero and starts to wick back up, you know, we're looking for what? Buys, you know. And then we see price heading back up, boom, and down. Price is heading back up now, you know. It's at 0.382 right now, 1932, you know, and now we're looking for buys as, you know, we could be in an uptrend. But, you know, we was in a downtrend. You could see, you know, now we're in an uptrend, you know, the price is heading back up, you know, back up to 0.382 and then 0.5. And we could be going up, you know, for London session, we could be heading back up, you know, but we had to wait, you know, if this move didn't happen right away, we have to wait till price, you know, shows us some type of wick below. As wicks below lets us know price is heading back up. Wicks above lets us know price is heading back down. When we see wicks below, we have to see this hammer pattern. We see a hammer pattern on the 4 hour at zero. Once price gets to zero, and then price heads back up. You know, so that's extremely important. And now, you know, you could have gotten in at 1922, 1923, and you would have been in profit the whole time, you know, as price is now at 1932, you know. So when we're in a downtrend, prices are what, making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and lower lows. You know, when we're in an uptrend, you see price made what, a higher high, then made what, a higher low. Wait for price to make a higher low. Once price makes a higher low at 1922, boom, you could have got in as price is making what, a higher high. You know, and now, you know, we're in a uptrend, you know. So let's go to the 1 hour to show you that as well. You know, as we're in an uptrend right now, but you know, price was, you know, made a lower low all the way down to 27 extension, right? Boom, and you know, went back up here to 1933, shows us that it's rejecting off of 0.382 level, you know, and eventually heads back down to 1927, you know, but we're still in an uptrend, and price heads back up to, you know, take profit 12. This is take profit 12 area, you know, take profit 12 area, and price heads back up to take profit 12. And then what? You know, our psychological level 1930, and it starts to reject one time, two, three, four, five times. This lets us know that price does not want to break above take profit 12. You can see it rejected here before and then headed back down, you know, and it stopped right at zero because it stopped at zero before. You can see it stopped right at zero. One, two, three, four times. It stopped at zero, you know. So once price got to 1930, we knew price was going to go back down to zero in 1922 because it did it in the past. It went right to 1922 in the past and stopped right at there, you know, and before, you know, heading back up, you know, heading back up to 1932. And you could have rode this, you know, this, if we was in a nice little uptrend, you could have rode this uptrend from 1922 all the way back up to 1932, you know, and boom, got out this trade. You could have rode this back up here, you know, as price, you know, price overall, um, I believe it's still in a downtrend, you know, as prices, you know, making lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and lower highs, and then eventually makes a lower low back down to zero, you know, as it was here before, makes a lower high back up to 0.382, and then we could see price making what, a lower low back down to zero, and then what, 27 extension, 1915, you know, gang. So that's my analyst on this, you know. You could have gotten for this buy once price made this hammer pattern. You have to wait for price, you know, as it was in an uptrend making higher highs and higher lows. Wait for price to make a higher low, and then you could have got back in and rolled this back to the higher high. Or if you're looking for sales, you know, as buyers looking for, as some traders are looking for buys, you're looking for sales. Wait for price to make a lower high, and then, you know, price is making a lower low right back down to 27 extension 1915. All right, gang.